Tired of Jira plans holding you back? If you've ever felt limited by native Jira roadmaps, you're not alone. In our last video, we dove into the power of structured Gantt and showed how it can transform your project visibility. But here's a real game changer. Jira's app ecosystem is a goldmine for tools. In this video, we're exploring another powerful option that takes your project planning to the next level. We'll be comparing standout tools to help you find the perfect fit to supercharge your planning and execution. Ready to see what else is out there and its unique features? Let's jump in. Picking the best tool for your team is not an easy task. If you want to make a thorough comparison of all the different options available on the marketplace, it's even harder. But do not worry, my team has spent thousands of hours mastering these tools, so we know each of them by heart and we can help you pick the right solution in no time. If you want to learn more, you'll see more information in the description. You can reach out to us for a free 1-hour consultation call. We'll be more than happy to answer all your questions. Alternatively, just drop us a comment and I'm sure we'll get back to you in no time. Today we are talking about WBS Gantt Chart. In this series of video, I promise that we'll make a comparison of the best Gantt and road mapping tools, and that's the second video in the series. In the previous video, if you haven't watched it, I do recommend that you do. I discussed structure, Gantt, by tempo. In this video, we're looking at something with unique features, so stay till the end as I'm sure you'll be impressed. Alright, let's start with the basics. So when it comes to working with Gantt or road mapping tools, the initial configuration can be challenging, but that's not the case in case of the WBS Gantt Chart. Now I did configure a portfolio view for you that we'll get back to shortly, but I first want to show you how easy it is getting started with that tool. So for that purpose, I will launch the initial screen, and all you need to do really to get started is select the project from the list of available Jira projects. I don't have that many projects on that instance. If I select, let's say, my Scrum project number 1, I will be redirected to the Gantt chart view, and that's it. Your Gantt chart is ready. Now, of course, there are some configuration settings that you might want to change. For example, how your work items are structured, but out of the box, it already gives me a hierarchy just as it is in Jira, so I have my epics and some stories here, and they're structured accordingly. Now, as you can see here, the Gantt chart is pretty standard in a sense that it has 2 or actually 3 main parts. It has the customizable list of your work items, including all the different fields as columns. For example, I would like to see the status, and there it is. I can rearrange the order here, and that's pretty straightforward. On the right hand side, you'll see an adjustable timeline, so we can start with hourly granulation, something that you don't see that often. Although within the structure Gantt we had this feature, and I know that a lot of you guys are working with tight schedules and planning with hourly granulation is a must-have. So here it is for you. Let's switch to the weekly view and all the way to the bird's eye view, which will show you the whole timeline. Now you can also add the week numbering, something quite useful if you plan using weeks instead. There is one more thing here, and it is called the resource view. So there's the third section here that shows your resource utilization and the workload. I will get back to that as I've already configured that in my other Gantt chart. So let's go back to the portfolio view. So the second tab here is the list of created Gantt charts, and they are really straightforward to configure. To define the scope or the range of issues that you want to work with using your Gantt chart, all you need to do is create a filter within your Jira, and I did create such a filter, called it to projects, and that's it. So you create a filter in Jira, it will appear here in the list of filters. There are several different settings here. I won't be exploring all of them in details, but I'll give you an overview shortly. We'll get back to that. So let's open my portfolio Gantt chart, and right away you'll see something that I really like. The very first column, maybe not the first, actually even the second and the third column. This is something that I haven't seen that often. So first of all, you have the WS numbering, right? So you see all the different levels within the hierarchy, how the issues are indented, the levels to which they are indented, something that I don't see that often. But what I really like is the third column here, called the warnings. So you'll see these colorful warnings telling me that something's wrong with my timeline. So for example, the issue did not start on the planned start date. Very important warning. Here, even worse, the issue did not finish on the planned finish date. Very important warning. And the green one telling me that the start date is approaching. So I can clearly see which work items require my attention and adjustment maybe, or rescheduling of my timeline. Very cool feature, I have to admit. I simply love it. Now, when it comes to working with the issue list, I already mentioned that you can add all these different fields as columns. If you don't see them on the list, you can add them within the configuration. When it comes to hierarchy, there are different ways how your work items are structured, but just like in other tools, typically a dedicated link is used for that, whether it's the native parent link within Jira or a custom link. Using a single link, you can create as many levels within the hierarchy as needed. You can also manually adjust the hierarchy and it will create the link for you. Now, when I make changes to my issues, so let's say I want to change the finish date of this particular task. Of course, I can do it using drag and drop, or I can inline edit this field. You will notice something in the top right corner, and that's this bubble right here telling me that I've already made 4 changes. I can undo the changes, I can redo the changes as well, and I can save the changes, which means that by default this tool operates in a scenario mode or in a sandbox mode. What does this mean? It means that all the changes that I'm doing right here do not propagate to Jira. So I can work on my schedule, adjust the tasks, and nothing will be updated yet until I hit save. Now, when it comes to syncing changes, you can decide which fields are synchronized with Jira. So for example, the finish date can be synced with due date or end date or any other custom date picker type of field. Here you will also see that there is the duration, there is the effort. So speaking of the issue list, there is a very interesting field here called, actually a couple of fields here called units, effort, and duration and effort adjustment. So what does it do? And again, I think it's quite unique comparing it to other tools. When it comes to the tasks, you'll have the effort, in other words, the original estimate here. You'll have the units, which tells you how much time is allocated to working on this particular task by the assignee. Alright, so I have a task that is estimated to take 1 week of work. Let's update the original estimate as well, and let's set the duration to 5 days. Now, if I change the duration effort adjustment to, let's say, duration adjustment, and I decide to spend 50% of my time because I have some other assignments, let's change the units to 50%, you will see that the duration was automatically adjusted for me. So instead of 5 days, it's gonna take 10 days of work, simply as I'll be spending only 50% of my time on that particular task. So that's one of the features that I don't see that often, quite useful, and I'm currently working with a client that has the exact use case but picked a tool that does not have this particular feature. So these are the pitfalls when selecting the right tool, and that's why we are recording all this video, to make sure that you understand the potential of each and every top Gantt chart tool available within Jira. I will not be exploring all these different duration effort adjustments, but basically you can adjust them based on the effort and units, or units are recalculated based on effort and duration, so it tells you the other way around how much time you need to spend on a particular task to make sure it is completed within the defined time frame. Alright, so far so good. So we just uncovered one of its unique features, but there are more. So I already mentioned that I can color code my tasks based on coloring rules, and this is again something that I don't see that often, right? So we love working with colors, and then they allow us to quickly identify the types of different tasks, right? You can actually set color coding rules based on JQL used. Now, going back to the table, adding tasks, the first button right here on the list, you can add from the list of available tasks, epic, stories tasks, all the different custom issue types will be here. When you select where you want to add it in the hierarchy, you just click on the task and hit, let's say, let's add another task right here, and that's it. Really straightforward. The task is being created. You can now enter the name. It's really easy as that. Once it is created in Jira, its name will become clickable, something that will work for you guys if you really want to work fast with the tool. I will save the changes. Right now you'll see that the key is generated. So instead of waiting until the task is created in Jira, populating all the fields, it's already created for you. No time wasted. You can also create task templates and copying issues and its children. So this is another thing available in other tools as well, for example Big Gantt, but I think it works way faster here. So that's it. All you need to do is just click and your epic and its children are created as temporary tasks, so they will be generated in Jira in a couple of seconds. Now the next option is to delete issues and children and versions, so that's straightforward. Now the next set of options here allows me to set baselines, a really powerful feature that shows you the initial position of your task within your initial plan, and then you can track the deviation. So let's try to create a baseline here. Alright, so right now it is created and you'll see this line, this gray line, although I think I picked a better color for that. Well, anyhow, you see that it shows you the position at the moment of creating the baselines for this particular task. You can in that out and manually move the task within the hierarchy or convert tasks to milestones. In the next set of options, you'll see the resource panel, and resource panel also has something that I haven't seen that often. So first of all, it shows you the resource utilization, right? So for example, Chris here is utilized in 100%. Here we have myself and I am overutilized. So as you can see, the bar exceeds the limit here, 8-hour limit, but some bars are not reaching the limit here, and that's because for this particular task I've set the units to 50%. That means that I've only utilized 50% of my capacity. Another interesting feature here, I'm over allocated quite significantly on Monday, 450%. So these are the conflicts that you will need to resolve, and to do that you will need to reschedule work that is assigned to me. Let's see if we can find it. That would be probably one of these tasks. So I might need to zoom in a little bit. Here are the tasks that I've planned, so I will need to push them slightly forward or to the next day. I did resolve the conflict partially, but I'm not going to do it right now, as this is just an overview of the tool. Now, when it comes to the next option right here, it is a progress line that shows me all the tasks that are behind the schedule when this progress line deviates to the left, or ahead of the schedule if you have worked on a task already. So let's try to update this line a little bit, and let's say I will set this to 50% completed. So right now you'll see that for this particular task we're ahead of the schedule, while for the others we are a little behind. So a clear indication what's happening within all my work on the timeline. Quite a nice feature to have. We also have the critical path that will highlight all the issues that affect the project duration. In my case, it's this particular guy right here. I did mess up my timeline a little bit, so it might not be the best way to show the critical path. Let me try to move it back a little bit and try one more time. So some actions are limited when the critical path is enabled, but here it does actually highlight all the issues that directly affect the project's duration. Alright, what else do we have here? We can export the data to Excel, Microsoft Project Export, and also import from Microsoft Project. If you're using Microsoft Project and you would like to migrate your data to Jira, this feature allows you to do that. Now, I haven't created many quick filters. I just created one so I can filter out all my stories. That's a simple filter. I also have tasks, so they disappeared from the list and they are showing up now. I did talk a little bit about the links, so these are pretty straightforward and standard to Gantt chart. So all you need to do is just drag and drop, and whenever auto scheduling is enabled, all the linked issues will be adjusted automatically for you. Also on the taskbars, you actually see the progress. So if you hover over the task, you will see that the percentage complete is 5%, which is indicated with this bar right here. Alright, so I think that covers the main features here. As you've seen, there are quite a lot of unique features. But I also mentioned that we'll have a look at the configuration. So first of all, you can save the configuration and apply it to your newly created Gantt chart. So there are configuration templates. You can copy this Gantt chart, copy the configuration, and here there are also some interesting options. So I won't be diving deep into all the options here. If you have any questions related to this tool, drop us a comment. But I mentioned that you can decide how the data is synced with Jira. So that applies to the dependency links, that applies to start finish dates, baselines, percentage completed units, scheduling modes and milestones, as well as the hierarchy. If you remember, I mentioned that it's typically done using a dedicated link such as native parent link in Jira, but since it has its limitations, you can create a custom link and you don't have to pay for Jira Premium to unlock this custom hierarchy based on a link. When it comes to issues, there are the options to recalculate the parent, default, duration, effort adjustments in the different modes that we discussed. We can decide what calendar is used for week numbering, what are the holidays, what are the regular holidays such as weekends, but you can have a 4-day week of work as well, and you can create holiday plans for your teams, right? So you can set the non-working days, easy as that. You can decide when the fiscal year starts, the alerts that I've already mentioned. So based on the start and finish dates and the status, you can set the different colors. I really love this feature, and I wish other tools had this option by default as well. Working with versions, I won't be exploring that. Columns, so you can add different fields as columns. There are plenty of fields that you can add here. Some system fields from Jira, some custom fields, parent link. You can also show the predecessor, the successor, something that I don't see that often. You have the date of first response, but also here, as I've already added it, fields like work ratio, status category change. There are the coloring rules, so I did set a simple JQL to color code my stories. So based on the JQL, you can add your own custom coloring rules, and there are plenty of millions of colors to pick from. So again, I love this feature. You can have your own scheme for your own Gantt charts. And the baselines, I thought that I did change the color, maybe I did not confirm the selection, so it should display as orange instead of gray, and a list of quick filters. There are also some more advanced configuration options that I won't be covering in this video, but if you want to learn more, or if you have a particular use case that you would like to address, drop us a comment or reach out to us for a free 1-hour consultation. Now, working with tools like Big Gantt, like Structure, like WBS Gantt Chart might seem straightforward, but implementing such tools within your organization is a whole different story. So WBS Gantt Chart is better than other apps like Structure Gantt or Plans or Big Gantt in some areas. If you want to learn more about all the differences and whether WBS Gantt is the right tool for your team, reach out to us for a free 1-hour consultation. Drop us a comment and remember to hit the like button on that video so that we know that we are providing valuable content for you guys. That's it for now. I'll see you in the next video where we continue with exploring the top Gantt and road mapping tools. Thank you for today and I'll see you in the next one.